Back like we never left. My name is Brago. Welcome back to B.D.A. Law, and we're here to talk about Momonosuke. Now, if you guys are here expecting me to scale Momonosuke in regards to strength, that is not what's happening today. But I'm going to talk about how Momonosuke, like I said, can surpass Oden. Now, this is something that no one ever thought was possible, and some people still don't think so. But there are ways I think Oda is setting up for Momonosuke to be able to surpass his father, even though currently he pales in comparison to him. But before we continue and talk about Momonosuke, the most unlikely character, please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Drop a like as well. Sometimes you watch several videos and don't even realize that you're not subscribed. Now is the time to do so, and I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, without further ado, let's talk about it. So Momonosuke, a very misunderstood character. Like I told you guys, I was going to reread a few things and come back to you about what I found out, and I ended up researching Momonosuke. I want to preface everything with this, that Momonosuke, I think he could have his own spin-off, and it would be very interesting, because I think as a character, what he's gone through and the levels of pain he's experienced, it's really not understood. So Luffy meets Momonosuke, right? And it's funny because in the recent chapter, Yamato and Shinobu, they called Momonosuke an eel, and Luffy did the same thing. He called Momonosuke an eel. So, I like how Oda's tying those two things together. After we meet Momonosuke, we find out that he had been fasting for 10 days. And of course, for him being the son of someone that was supposed to be the shogun, there's a lot of pride that goes into it. And Momo, before we peeled back the layers, had the first layer up of royal pride. He was so proud of the fact that he was a samurai and of course his lineage. As one of the kids in Punk Hazard, he didn't even want to accept food. And as we progress and see all the things that Momonosuke was going through, at the moment, based on everything we know, it resonates a bit more. And I think this is the first step to knowing the character, because here, Momonosuke himself was telling the kids that no one understands his inner turmoil, which they wouldn't based on what he went through, right? Lost his mom and his dad, and even lost his country. But there was a bit of embarrassment there, because now we know Momonosuke feels like he can't live up to Oden. So when they were asking his name, he was like, yo, I have no name. But he doesn't even feel like he could carry on that name of Kazuki Momonosuke because it doesn't measure up to Kazuki Oden. Of course, part of that is not letting them know exactly who he is, but he wasn't shy of saying that he was a samurai. So that's interesting. And of course, that led to him being so hungry, he went to the secret room and ate the devil fruit that was deemed a failure by everyone, specifically Vegapunk, that the world government could not get access to. The panel that stuck out to me, and I posted this on Twitter, if you guys aren't following me, now is the time to follow me at BragoDAce. But this panel here is Momonosuke listening to a kid talk about their moms and dads. And she says, it's hard, isn't it? But we're all in the same boat here. We all just want to see our moms and dads again. We came here from all over to get treatment, but we all feel the same way. Momonosuke's eyes and the way he looked at that moment, you could somewhat assume what he had been through, but now that we know everything Momonosuke went through at that time, by that point, it's a surprise he didn't break down in tears. The panel goes on to say, there's a lot of stuff I want to do when I get back home, but we're all good friends in a biscuit room. We cheer each other up to help people forget the bad stuff. And Momonosuke says, and I'm assuming Momonosuke was going to try to open up a bit, basically saying I have nowhere to return to, but I do, but I really can't go back at the moment. So there's a lot going on with him. We even see a panel on the ship when Chopper talks about everything Momonosuke was doing, and that when he was by himself, he seemed sad, and it seems like a kid at his age has a lot of mental scars, and boy does he ever. But as we progress through the story, of course, it culminating in Zou with Raizo is safe, and Momonosuke finally opening up and accepting help, not hiding behind Kinemon or Kanjuro, asking for help, getting to the place where Luffy can respect him. That was the first step that we have in Momonosuke's development. I just wanted to give a bit of background with Momonosuke to just refresh you guys to understand where we're gonna go with him, because as we've gotten to Wano, Oda has revealed a bit more about him. So that pride he once had is not as prevalent, but one thing about him is that he feels like he's useless. And this isn't just about Oden, right? Do you guys remember when Kaido was about to kill Momonosuke? He was saying, are you sure you're the son of him? You're so underwhelming, there's no way you're his son. So Momo, knowing how great his dad was and comparing himself to that great stature of Oden, there's gonna be some self-doubt. But Kaido saying that had to have hurt. Momonosuke has showed some more usefulness, like with Kanjuro, and trying to do things on his own a bit more to prove to everyone that he's worthy of the Kazuki name. But again, Oda has been slowly removing the layers, because Kaido had Momonosuke about to kill him and said, you know what, if you denounce your name, I won't kill you, so I'll ask you again, boy, what is your name? And Oda tying it back together for Momonosuke not saying his name in Punk Hazard, he is now saying proudly that his name is Kozuki Momonosuke, the man who will become the Shogun. So again, slow steps to development, and I think he's becoming an amazing character. But how does Momonosuke surpass Oden? Is that even possible? Oden and all the things he accomplished by even Momo's age is extraordinary, but there's a way Momo can prove himself. So first, in chapter 1007, CP0 talked about the lineage factor, or the bloodline element, based on what translation you read. And basically it confirmed that Momonosuke, currently, through his veins, he has Oden's blood and Kaido's DNA, because Momonosuke's devil fruit was made through Kaido's DNA. So at this point, Momonosuke has the blood of the hero of Wano, Oden, and he has the appearance of the main villain of Wano. Now, I think it's important to understand the sequence of things, where Oda has used Yamato as an information hub to let us know how Kaido's flames and clouds work, how Kaido's having Onigashima afloat, using the powers of the dragon. Now, Luffy, upon meeting Momonosuke, it seems like he went out of it or he just lost it for a bit, and he was able to summon the same flame clouds. But again, Momonosuke was present when Yamato brought all that up. Now here again, Momonosuke revealed his true self to Yamato, who knows her father's powers in and out. What could this lead to? Well, the most logical thing to me is that Momonosuke uses the flame clouds to keep Onigashima afloat. Now, I don't think Shinobu will be involved, because that's been a theory. I think Yamato is basically just gonna walk Momonosuke through it, and the reason why I think this is going to happen is based off of a few things. The Hour of Legend, when Oden held up his scabbards in the boiling pot of hot oil and saved their life. He had an entire hour and he did the extraordinary. The reason why Momonosuke is going to have to eclipse that is not only because of his name, Kozuki Momonosuke, but also his appearance. Wano has been ruled by Kaido, a diabolical ruler, for 2 decades plus. At this point, anyone that looks like Kaido, it would take a lot, even if his name is Kozuki Momonosuke, for them to trust someone that looks like that. So Momonosuke not only has to overcome the appearance of the person that held Wano captive for so long, he has to prove himself as the true heir of Oden and the future shogun of Wano. How do you do that? Well, currently Onigashima is falling upon the capital and we have no way to stop it. Momonosuke has to be the one to use his flame clouds as taught or helped by Yamato to hold up Onigashima until they can do something with it. And this will some way parallel what Oden did with his scabbards by putting the scabbards on his back, but this time, not figuratively, but literally, Momonosuke will use the flame clouds to put Wano on his back. Specifically Onigashima, but protecting the capital of Wano with all these people. And now, for him to overcome just the appearance, this would show to people that even though Momonosuke looks like Kaido, he's the complete opposite, and that appearance does not define him because he's truly the son of Oden with that great feat of him holding up Onigashima with his flame clouds. Even though that's the ability of his fruit, Momonosuke would then surpass even the great feat of his father and prove to not only himself, but his people that he is worthy of being a Kozuki. I think this is the only way this can happen. Of course, other factors could play in regards to him keeping Onigashima afloat, but Oda is laying all the breadcrumbs for us to know that Momonosuke will be the one to do something parallel to his dad, but on a much grander scale, holding up Onigashima, saving the capital or the people of Wano. What is something greater than that? And that would be a huge boost to Momonosuke's confidence. Of course, Momonosuke has a lot going for him. He just doesn't see it yet. We can't forget the voice of all things, with him commanding Zunisha. But right now, the task at hand is saving the people, holding up Onigashima, and protecting them for long enough, and proving yourself as the true heir of Kozuki Oden. But guys, give me your thoughts. Of course, it seems far-fetched based on what Momonosuke has shown so far, but again, Yamato has knowledge of Kaido's fruit. Who better than Yamato to direct Momonosuke on how to do these things? Something funny as well, when Luffy met Momonosuke, that Oda's gonna tie in for sure, Momonosuke said he did not know or understand how to transform. He asked Luffy, do you know how to do it? Luffy says, no, I'm not a Zoan type. We saw Yamato about to transform in Wano. Yamato more than likely is a Zoan type. I think it's literally perfect that Oda would use another Zoan type to give Momonosuke directions on how to control his abilities. I think it's perfect and it's brilliant. But guys, give me your thoughts. How do you feel about all this? It could be far-fetched in some people's minds, but for me, I think think it's pretty much a done deal. Momonosuke will save Wano, and we may see another hour of legend. Yeah, he's a kid, but kids have done great things in One Piece time and time and time again. This is no different. But guys, give me your thoughts. How do you feel about all this? Can Momonosuke pull this off, or is he just not strong enough? So yeah, guys, like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate all you guys oh so much. Guys, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost. I rewrite it.